Now at 5, as wildfires burn all across the state of Utah, we are live on the Utah County line with the very latest and a live look at the Iron Fire.
The Cottonwood Fire is still at 0% containment and expected to stay that way for days. What this means for its spread and lasting impact.
When it comes to these fires, if you've been impacted, we'll tell you what's covered by insurance and what you need to look out for. 2 News at 5 starts now.
Live, streaming, and on the KUTV app. This is KUTV 2 News at 5.
Thanks for joining us live on 2 News at 5 o'clock tonight. I'm Brian Schnee. We are live on the Utah County line. I'm just north of Alberta, directly east of the town of Eureka, which remains under evacuation orders tonight. This is the Iron Fire that is burning behind me here. I'm standing at the Alberta Slant Road, which is just off of SR 68, Redwood Road here, towards that line area where the county split. This is one of many roads that are closed in the area. As you take a closer look at the activity of this fire, where the road runs all the way up to the Pinion Creek Canyon area, and that is where the Iron Fire, at last check was over 31,000 acres, is exhibiting some pretty significant fire behavior this evening. They were conducting burnout operations throughout the course of the afternoon, putting up large columns of smoke, multiple columns of smoke, and it was definitely getting some attention here west of Utah Lake. Samantha Hoffman is covering one of the state's most vulnerable areas right now with erratic fire behavior sparking yesterday on the Cottonwood Fire. That is east of Beaver. She joins us now with a look at what's been going on there today and how everyone's feeling about this fire looming over the hillside of Beaver, Utah. Sam.
Well, Brian, unfortunately, this smoke cloud behind me is expected to only grow, with the Utah Division of Forestry, Fire, and State Lands saying it'll likely spread into Piute County later this evening. A lot of people asking what's going to happen to my property up there, whether it's a home or their trailer. We finally have some direction for you all. I'm going to get to that in just a minute. First, I'm going to take a step out of here and give you a closer look at that smoke cloud. As you can see, it's some black smoke coming out of there now. Officials estimate that it's about 27,000 acres that have burned. Utah FFSL says it is human caused, but it's still under investigation. Evacuation orders are still in place, and Highway 153 remains closed as 11 ground crews and about 20 aerial resources work the scene. Now back to that question of what's the damage. Beaver County Sheriff's Office says that's still unknown, but they're calling for anyone who owns property, structures, vehicles, or equipment in the fire area to complete a witness statement on their website. Natalie Hunt with the Fish Lake National Forest says the damage will affect both locals and people who love recreating in the area.
In the area where the fire started, there are multiple campgrounds. There are summer home areas. There are lots of property and just personal private areas. It's a small community. Our mountain is very special to a lot of people. So it's pretty devastating to see this.
The Sheriff's Office says that they will be contacting property owners as soon as they can assess and verify the damages. Live in Beaver, Samantha Hoffman, KUTV 2 News.
All right, Sam, thank you very much. Similar to the Cottonwood Fire that Sam was talking about, the Iron Fire here, human caused, but currently being investigated. We do know that 4 structures have burned. They are all outbuildings in the Broad Creek area. That confirmed by fire information folks. No primary residences. And everything looks pretty good in Eureka. That, according to our very own David Ochoa, who was in Eureka earlier today, and we'll have a live report from in town, walking through town, checking things out, coming up tonight on 2 News at 6, and then they're going to evaluate tomorrow if they're allowing residents to get back into town. Working on this fire right now behind me, 2 very crucial aerial firefighting resources staged out of the Provo Airport right now. They are yellow and red. They are very recognizable. They scoop water out of lakes and water bodies, and they drop that directly on the flames. They are called super scoopers. I got a chance to talk to one of those pilots currently fighting this fire right now.
So this is a CL215T Super Scooper. It is a modification of the CL215, which was started being built in the 1960s in Canada, and it used to have piston engines. This one's been modified with turbine engines, got an upgrade about 5 years ago. It's the only purpose-built firefighting aircraft that's ever been designed from the ground up. Fill the water tanks, leave the lake, fly over to the fire, drop the water on the fire, and come back again. And we're most effective when we're really close to a lake. Went to the Iron Fire, for a cycle. Then we went to the Iron Fire again. Then they moved us to the Cottonwood Fire. But we had to come back here and rinse our tanks so that we were clean, so we didn't transport any invasive species. And then we went to the Cottonwood Fire at the end of the day to finish it off.
What was the difference in fire activity between those two from your perspective?
Both fires were very active yesterday and changing rapidly. So they were burning.
What is it about you about doing this job that keeps you coming back year after year?
Well, it's a fun job and it's a rewarding job. I want to emphasize it's the ground crew that really put the fire out, and we are there to support them and help them, and that is our primary purpose. And it's great being a part of a huge team together in the air, on the ground, and all over the country that really puts the fight together against forest fires and protecting people and property.
So typically those super scoopers operated by Bridger Aerospace, headquartered out of Bozeman, Montana, they typically operate in tandem. So if you see one, you'll likely see a next. And if you're along the west side of Utah Lake, for example, this afternoon or early evening, you will be able to see them actually performing the water scoop portion, and then they go off into the smoke plume here. Very close location between water body and wildfire. We are live here on the Iron Fire on the county line of Utah and Juab counties. And again, things are very evolving here on this fire, as is the case on the Cottonwood Fire. They're trying to have that conversation tomorrow to see if they can let everyone that was evacuated from Eureka back in after a tense couple of days. Heidi, back inside to you.
All right, this coordination's impressive. Brian, thank you. As you can see behind Brian and really just about everywhere right now, we've got a lot of smoke in our valleys, and I think a lot of people are hoping this will clear out, but we may be stuck with this for a while.
Yeah, I think at least for the next several days with these westerly and southwesterly winds. Plus, we have high fire danger, and this will likely increase. I'm getting kind of concerned about tomorrow. More wind and maybe some dry thunderstorms. Now, we have red flag warnings across southern Utah. This is where we've had some stronger winds. Right now, they're gusting to about 15 to 30 miles per hour out of the west to southwest. Lighter winds along the Wasatch Front, which is good news for our fires closer to northern Utah. Still a little breezy in northeastern Utah and southwestern Wyoming. It's hot and it's dry. And by the way, humidity is down to about 5 to 10%. Right now we are in the 90s along the Wasatch Front, one of the hottest days of the year so far. 90 in Logan, 87 in Vernal, 91 in Cedar City, and well above 100 degrees down in St. George. And you can see some of that wildfire smoke here in the Salt Lake Valley, definitely impacting our air quality. Temperatures stay in the 90s through 8 o'clock. Once that sun goes down, we'll drop into the 80s, so very mild, and we'll keep it mostly clear for tonight. That's going to change, though, tomorrow. We are now having a marginal risk for severe weather. Damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour possible with any storm that develops. I'll have the timing of these storms, and I'll let you know what's coming our way as we head into the weekend. Don't want to miss that full forecast in just a few more minutes.
New at 5, when it comes to the damage that the fire can do to homes and also your property, do you know if you're actually covered? Brian Will dug into what you should know. And Brian, is it too late for people to get coverage if there's a fire in their area?
Heidi, great question. And for neighborhoods like this, it's not too late as there's no moratorium on homeowners insurance, including fire coverage. But that could change.
It's crazy right now. It's just unbelievable. Like, you can see the haze down here.
Jorgen Olson has lived in Utah for years. This is one of the worst starts to the fire season he's seen. It has him thinking about the what ifs. Do you kind of know what's covered in your insurance when it comes to this?
You know, that's something I'm not really entirely sure of, if it would cover like natural disaster type stuff.
Fire is a standard covered peril on most homeowner policies.
Tracy Klossmeyer with the Utah Insurance Department says wildfires are typically covered and considered fire in most policies. And is there anything people might need to know when it comes down to digging into that policy?
They need to review the policy to make sure that there's no exclusions or no specialty language in there that could exempt them from some coverage.
The most important thing she says homeowners need to do is check their policies for any possible coverage gaps.
Any antiques that you have, jewelry that you have, firearms, all of those things can be insured, but they're separate. They're endorsements that are added to a traditional homeowner's policy.
If you rent, you'll want to make sure that fire is in your renter's insurance policy. For Olson, the fires have him checking on his coverage.
This is bad. It's bad enough. It's concerning for sure.
For any type of insurance, it can be confusing and hard to understand, which is why she stresses you meet with your agent and review your policies before emergencies happen. Reporting live near the Bonneville Fire, Brian Will, KUTV 2 News.